Welcome to Pravdan Tutorials.
Hi everyone. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to differentiate y equals cos x. When given y equals cos of x, what we want to do is to differentiate with respect to x, y. And that is, we are differentiating with respect to x, our y is cos x. And when you differentiate cos x, you get negative of sine x. So how do we arrive at this? We are going to use the method of first principle. Remember, you had an increment to both sides using the symbol change or delta y equals cos of x, add an increment plus delta x. Next is to make the delta y the subject of formula, and that will leave you with cos of x plus delta x minus y. Replace back the value of y or what y is, and that is you have minus from the question, y is cos x. The next thing you're going to do here is to expand what this cos x plus delta x is. From trig identity formula, we know that the cos of the addition of two angles, let's say A plus B, will give us cos of the first angle A multiplying cos of the second angle B minus sine of the first angle A and sine of the second angle B. So if we apply that to this first term here, we can have, that is, the cos of x plus delta x will give us cos of x, cos of delta x, minus sine of x and sine of delta x. Therefore, if we substitute back our change in y, right from here, change in y or our delta y will be equals to the whole of this expansion. We have cos x, cos delta x, minus sine x, sine of delta x, then the second term here, minus cos x. We can see that the first term here and the third term have a common value, have a common term. So we can have a change in y equals, you choose the common thing, which is cos of x is common to the first and the third term, and we are going to be left with the cos of delta x minus 1. And we still have the second term, which is minus sine of x, sine of delta x. The next you're going to do here is to have your delta y over delta s to both sides, and that's going to leave you with this cos delta x minus 1 over delta x minus sine x sine delta x over delta x. Remember, the last thing to do in this procedure of first principle is to limit as your delta x tends to 0, and we know, if you recall, check our previous video, that your delta y over delta x will become the y dx. And you also remember that your cos delta x minus 1 over delta x will tends to 0, and you know that sine delta x over delta x will tend to 1. So remembering all the standards, then we can proceed to have our delta y over delta x as we limit delta x tends to 0 will become dy dx equals, looking at the first term here, we have cos x, which remains the same, and this part here, which has tends to 0, minus we have the first part here, sine x, and the next part here, sine delta x over delta x, which has tends to 1. And finally, you have your dy dx to give you cos x times 0, it's 0, minus sine of x, which finally gives minus sine x. Take note of this. This is one of the standards. When you differentiate a cos function, it gives you a negative sine function. Alright guys, see you in our next video. Stay tuned. Bye bye.
Please kindly subscribe. Thank you.